What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 30. We're starting today's with stuff on the back of the big win against Stoke City. 3 wins in our last 4 games in an unbeaten month of November. With a scouting update and an academy update, picked up a couple of players for our academy, including Toby Young, who looks the best of the bunch thus far. 16 years old, 57 overall, 71-94 potential. Let's hope when that range decreases, it will be around the mid-80s somewhere. So many players there, I just don't think they're going to make the cut because you see our fixtures here for December. Swansea away, Liberty Stadium. Wigan at home, the Sky Blues at home, Reading at home, Fulham away at Craven Cottage. I'm not looking forward to that. Bristol City to Robins, the Lions away at the Den, and then Luton Town as well. And what is a very busy and fixture congestion month of December, where as you see, we have now risen to 10th place. Yeah, for those players in the academy, most of which I don't think they'll make it because, as I have said before, now we've got a 5-star scout. I really don't think we need to settle for, I'm not going to say mediocrity, but players that have sub 80 to 81 potential. As Rabbi Matondo grows a rating, trained him to right winger, and that saw him grow a rating from LM, RM, and ST, the 3 positions which have now become secondary ones, and the winger now is primary. I've done this primarily so I can give him the inverted winger development plan that will train basically all of his shooting stats and also improve his stamina and weak foot as well. Very handy, as I still don't know where Matondo's best position is going to be, because since we've lost Isaac Davis and Alan Bound to injury, he's come in now as our starting striker, and he's our top scorer this season now. So I don't really know, because he can play through the middle, he can play on both wings. It's great for the versatility, but I just don't know which is going to be his best position. However, for the first game, South Wales derby, really excited for this one. Swansea City at the Liberty Stadium right now, rock bottom of the Championship, aiming to make it 5 straight games without defeat. Gavin Humphreys plays a great through ball, and our 2 players this season link up for our first goal. And it is that man, Matondo, once again. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder now where I should just bite the bullet and try and train him as a striker, because it will take a long time. It will take him about a season and a half, possibly 2 seasons, but he's now got 7 goals in 13. He's averaging over 1 in every 2. And 25 minutes in, I thought he got goal number 8 for the season. Another great through ball by Gavin. Unfortunately, this one disallowed for offside. You'll see by the replay, very tight indeed, though it was the right call. Yeah, I think for Matondo, I probably will bite the bullet, because obviously Davis now shows great potential. Bound has the potential to be special. But for me, I'm not going to change formation because I really like this 5-2-3, and I love Humphreys as the free roll guy in the attacking midfield position, just given the range to do whatever he wants. But if Matondo's best position does appear to be striker, as much as I love the Bound with the potential to be special, I think I've got to go for short-term goals over long-term goals right now. So yeah, still leading this game by a goal to nil. You know, the cliche is that football is a game with 2 halves. This was definitely one of those cases where it rang true. We dominated in the first half, had a disallowed goal. Really should have been 2 goals up, possibly 3, and then 8 minutes after the restart, after a couple of corners, Swansea found their leveller, tied the game, made it 1-1, and late on I was just withstanding heavy pressure. Right now, bottom of the table, I thought for sure this should be 5 straight games without a loss, and his stoppage time, had it not been for an amazing save by Price, our teenage goalkeeper, already called up for Wales, we would have lost this one. This is a brilliant save. I don't often show replays for saves, but look at that. Talk about fine margins with the left boot there, diverting over the bar for a corner. Bit of an unorthodox save, I must say, from Price. Kind of reminded me of David De Gea when he went through that phase a few years ago where he just tried to save every shot of his feet. Do you remember that? Many years ago now, but even so, drew the game 1-1. And to be fair, I'll take it as well, because obviously they're bottom of the table. It should have been a game we should be targeting to win, don't get me wrong, but could have lost the game late on. We've lost a lot of points this season from games late on in games, conceding goals late on in games. I think I'll take the point there. Keeps us further away from the bottom 3. It's not a terrible result, all things considered, in a derby as well. But for Matondo, this is what I was alluding to earlier. If we do train him as a striker, it will take 99 weeks. So that is basically a season and a half, coming on to a season and 2/3. Is my maths right? I think so. But, you know, it's going to take over a season, basically, somewhere between a season and 2. I just don't know, because I haven't bit the bullet and done it just yet, and I think the main reason why is because I'm so excited about the future with Alan Bound, with the potential to be special. But the fact he's only scored 2 goals all season long, he's got more assists than goals, now he's down with the broken toe. It just seems like Rabbi is thriving in the striker role. And is it best to try and get rid of that exclamation mark, and play him as a natural striker, see all the attribute increases when he's in form? I really don't know, because he can be as creative as he can be when scoring goals as well. He's got a couple of assists this season, including here, 31 minutes in, rolling it through to Gavin, and right now these two are just our players of this season, the future of Wales, and of course the former Gelsenkirchen man as well. Humphreys with 5 goals already this season in 19 games. He is absolutely turning up right now, and he's been really crucial to our good run of form lately. So yeah, it's an interesting dilemma with Matondo, but I guess we just have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, 41 minutes in, we were tied at 1-1. Wigan scoring for a rebound goal from a corner there. So frustrating. Two of my least favourite goals conceded, a set piece and a rebound as well. So 1-1, but 49 minutes in, a chance to restore our lead. Once again, it's the dynamic duo of Rabbi and Gavin linking up, and right now these two are just in the zone, and they're just right now in sync with each other. It's so great when you've got a partnership and both players are just in sync with one another. Do you know what I mean? With one assist the other or the other way around, it doesn't really matter. They're just a great partnership. That's how it's working with Humphreys right now. He returns the favour for Rabbi, rolls him through, and in the end Matondo gets yet another goal in what was eventually a 2-1 win over Wigan. So there we go, 6 straight games without a loss for Newport County. Our best run of form of the season so far. And I think it kind of shows you the importance of good form, in FIFA CM. Now, I've mentioned it many times before. Form is a real thing, and thus it should be in the game. When a team is in good form in real life, of course they're going to go into the next game feeling very confident, very positive, and probably continue to pick up where they left off. If a team is in bad form, of course there'll be doubts, there'll be anxiety, there'll be pessimism, they're not playing their best football, they're not in good form, and therefore they might take that into their following game. So I have no issue with form being part of the game. It's realistic. But at times I do think it can be a little bit too OP. And this is the point here, like we're 6 games unbeaten and we're just absolutely rolling right now with Newport County. And it kind of makes me wonder, like in a division like the Championship, this is why you see so many like carousels, do you know what I mean? Like teams at the top will then float down to the bottom and then vice versa. And again, it can happen in real life, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's just a little bit too OP. But it's the reason why you want to keep it going for as long as possible, because in FIFA CM, as you'll notice it, when you are in good form, you're sitting there thinking, I can literally beat anyone right now because my team is clicking, my team is firing on all cylinders, no matter what position the opponents are in the table. I fancy our chance of beating them. When you're in bad form, even if you're taking on like bottom of the table and you're in 5th or whatever, you're starting to wonder, can I get the next win? Because obviously your team just aren't playing as well, and they're going to be at downgrades as well. This was Coventry City at Rodney Parade, right now in a great season, sat in the playoffs currently in the Championship. Really topsy-turvy game, finished 2-2, and again standing up to the Sky Blues in that game. Very balanced, even game to be fair. Draw probably was the right result, but again it shows the importance of good form. At the start of the season, if we were taking on a team in the playoffs, we'd have been absolutely battered. I mean, we were, by Fulham, 7-0, so we'd have been humiliated. But when you're in good form, you go into those games, and there were a couple of late chances for me in that game as well, which didn't take them. You definitely think you can beat anyone, so it's the importance of form in FIFA CM and why it's just so crucial to be in a good form for as long as possible. Still following game, Reading, the Royals, the lads from Indonesia Stadium coming to take us on here at Rodney Parade. We see Lloyd, so good they named him twice, get his first goal since coming out of the academy. So gutted he only shows great potential, but a good starting overall, and there's his first goal in pro football. What a lovely assist by Rabbi Matondo as well. I love the little skill move and the perfectly weighted through ball into the path of Lloyd as well. So 1-0 we're in front. It was 1-1 4 minutes after the restart. Mate fires in a leveller for the Royals as the visitors find their leveller. And in the second half, it's kind of like the Swansea game as well. Like in the first half, I wasn't really threatened that much. I felt reasonably in control. Just didn't take another chance to get us a cushion and go 2 goals up. And in the second half, I thought I'd probably pay the price. Reading hit the post late on. We were tied at 1-1. I was desperately trying to cling on to a draw, extend our unbeaten run, keep it going after 7. But with 1 minute of normal time to go, Mate, who scored the first, turns provider for the second, rolls it across, and McNulty wins it late on for the visitors. So such a frustrating game to lose this one as well, because you've seen it throughout the course of the season so far. We just concede so many late goals. And I guess I'm going to try and make this out to be what it isn't, but I'm going to say it's because we've got a young and inexperienced team. and therefore, of course, we're not going to be as experienced and mentally strong as if we had more vets in our team. I know we've got Ben Davis, but even so, I'm going to say that's the reason why. You know, try and play on the realistic feel and say that's the reason we have conceded a lot of late goals this season in a lot of our games and dropped several points in late game situations because we've got a young team. They just can't handle the pressure just yet. They're inexperienced. They're kids. They're teenagers. You know, but it is so frustrating. And I know the main reason why is because the late goals are just so common in this year's FIFA and also last FIFA as well. Last year's FIFA they were ludicrous, but late goals are so common. I'm starting to wonder where we'd be in the table and how many points we'd have on the board right now if games ended after 80 minutes, because it's pretty crazy to think about, and I don't want to think about it too much because I'm starting to realise we'd have a lot more points and a lot more wins and draws on the board, because you think about all the games where we've lost it or thrown away 2 points late on in this season alone, and there's a lot of them, you know. I can count at least 4 right now, so yeah, it's pretty crazy, but this isn't rugby. Games don't end after 80 minutes. You got to see out the 90 plus stoppage time, otherwise you're not going to get the results you need. So yeah, final game of today's episode, Fulham away at Craven Cottage. Played well in the first half, just couldn't break the deadlock, and in the second 20 minutes after the restart, Sylvester Gasper, really great young talent, surprisingly have more potential in FIFA, makes it 1-0 and Fulham get the win. So I'll be honest, I was dreading this game after what happened to Rodney Parade when we were battered 7-0. 1-0 is not a good result, but at least it was far less of a drubbing. And there we go, 25 games into the season, they're currently in the top 2, but we are in 12th, 32 points on the board. Yes, back-to-back defeats, pretty frustrating, but again, that's the importance of form. When you're in good form, things are flying, you can't stop winning. When you have a couple of bad defeats on the trot, you start to look a bit nervously over your shoulder. 21 games to go. Season has still got a long, long way left. But that will insist for Coventry Country, guys. Big thank you for watching. Enjoy. If you please drop a like. Most love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of CNC as we wrap up December very soon.